What's up, world? Welcome to the positive truth, uplifting, and positive news for a more progressive society. Tim, what are we trying to bring?
That was such a peaceful. Here at The Positive Truth, we try to bring awareness, empowerment, inspiration, optimism, and understanding to communities everywhere.
And we have a wonderful interview today. Can you start off by telling us who you are and who you're representing?
Of course. My name is Allyson Meyer, and I'm representing Oklahoma Cleats for Kids.
Awesome. Can you please explain what Cleats for Kids is?
Yes, so Cleats for Kids, our main goal is to equip and empower kids through the power of sports. So we provide sports equipment to kids in need across the state of Oklahoma. And we do that by big collection drives for new and used equipment. We have a locker room where families and coaches and teachers can come shop free of charge for whatever they need to play sports.
That's awesome. So I'm going to skip a couple questions real fast
You're
so we
fine.
can go right into that locker room.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about this new locker room?
Yeah, of course. So the locker room is really what I say where the magic happens. So like I said, coaches come in, families come in, teachers come in, and sometimes they bring a list of sizes they need. Sometimes they bring their kids with them, and they can really get whatever they need. Our name is Cleats for Kids, but we're not just cleats. We're all sports, all types, all sizes. So really a kid can get fully equipped for the sport they're playing just by walking into our locker room.
That's awesome. Like from everything from football, basketball,
yes,
soccer.
all sports, even some of the smaller sports we have stuff for. So really anything a kid wants to play, they can get gear from us.
How are y'all getting these shoes and cleats?
So like I said, we do collection drives across the state. We have some permanent locations for collection bins, but we also have kids that do collection drives through their schools and other organizations. So one of our big themes of our mission is kids helping kids. And one way we do that is providing opportunities for kids to serve. We have two teen boards, a junior varsity board for middle school students. And we have 50 middle school students that serve from 15 different schools, which is awesome. I lead our high school board, which is called our varsity teen board, and we have 160 high school students from 20 different metro schools that are really young philanthropists in our community, and the goal is to make a difference, and they truly do.
I love that. I love how it's sport oriented. Varsity and junior varsity.
Yes.
I love that. So
How did you find these kids that wanted to do it?
So a lot of it is just outreach. For our high school board, they apply. So we have an application that goes out online, and they apply through that starting August 1st, and then we get those kids together and some outreach. Obviously we have 20 schools, so there's a little bit of outreach that's done there, and now we're up to 160 kids. So it's really anyone that wants to serve. We're not there's not a cutoff on a certain number, so we're growing, and which is awesome because that just means more impact for our kids.
Do all the kids get to meet each other?
Yes, so we have, for our varsity board, we have 4 big board meetings a year where they all come together and meet, and then throughout the year we have different volunteer opportunities that they get to serve together.
Whenever you're in high school or you're younger, you have this small, you can't really drive, especially if you're in middle school. Mm-hmm. You're always in the same friends, same community. Go out and meet other kids would just be awesome.
Yes, so they get to definitely mingle together and meet people from different schools and get to collaborate on projects with them, which is awesome.
That is awesome. Man, I had no idea there was middle school kids. 50
yes,
of them on top
middle school,
of that. That's amazing.
And they do volunteer work with us, and then we also send them out to some of our partner organizations and have them volunteer to kind of get them a little taste of what's out there.
The younger you start, the more you're going to do it
exactly.
when you get older, for sure. So how did this get started originally? I know you guys have been around for a little bit. Mm-hmm. I've dealt with you guys as a coach, and
yes.
Amazing, but I never really asked, how did it get started?
So Cleats for Kids started in 2011. Our founder and executive director, Stacy McDaniel, and her husband, they have 3 kids, and they were very involved in sports. And what they saw was that there were some kids that weren't coming back season after season because they simply couldn't afford the gear to play again. And they thought, surely there's an organization out there that's recycling sports equipment. We have all this stuff in our garage that our kids have outgrown. Where can we give it that it would go back to someone else? And there simply wasn't. And so they started Cleats for Kids out of their garage in 2011. Their first collection drive was their daughter Megan's birthday party. She did a collection drive, and that's just kind of where it kicked off, and the need just was there, and it just has grown and grown, and there just wasn't something that was doing this, and so they stepped up and said, we're going to do it, and we're going to help kids, and it started right here in Oklahoma City and has grown statewide.
I'm sorry, I'm in awe because I feel like that's such a simple thing to do. You know what? I have all this sport equipment in my garage. Let's go ahead and give it to people that need it, and then all of a sudden there's this huge, oh my gosh, I'm in Wow, go Stacy.
Yes,
Stacy.
yes. I mean, they just really stepped up, and they just looked at things they already had, and there wasn't any place to put it that would help other people, and now there is, which is just such an incredible gift.
Man, that's so awesome. Wow, I'm in awe for sure.
I'm in awe as well. It's just you think about it a lot of times. Like, why isn't there this? It's like, well, I wish someone else would do this. It's like, no, we're gonna do this.
Yes.
When you take that upon yourself, you make the whole world better.
Yep, exactly.
Absolutely.
Speaking of making the whole world better, we were like the positive news channel. Can you just tell us positive stories, your favorites about Cleats for Kids?
Yes. So one of them happened pretty recently. We had a kid who came in originally when he was in 7th grade. He had gotten in trouble at school, and his mom said, you're not going to stay home. You're going to go volunteer and do something. And so he came to Cleats for Kids and started volunteering and was able to get some shoes to run track and play football. And through that time, he came year after year, came to help volunteer, brought his friends, was able to get gear to be able to play. And this May, he walked in, his name's Trudale, and he had an envelope in his hand and asked to see our executive director, Stacey McDaniel, and he handed it to her, and he said, "This is my graduation announcement. You told me when I first came to Cleats for Kids that you wanted to see me graduate. And I wouldn't have graduated if I wasn't going to be able to play sports, and I wouldn't have been able to play sports without Cleats for Kids." And so now Trudale's at UCO and succeeding, and that's just honestly one of the many stories with these kids that so often sports is their avenue to go to college. And so it's so much more than just being out there on the field, on the court, on the playground. And truly, this is transformative in these kids' lives, in the classroom, and in so many sports just offers so many positive benefits to these kids, and they get to experience that because they can simply play. Another one of my favorite stories is right when I started at Cleats for Kids, I had a mom. Her son was able to get football cleats through us, and she said, "I want you to know that these shoes are keeping my kids off the streets." And I kind of looked at her and she said, if he wasn't able to go to something after school, go to an extracurricular activity, he would be doing things he's not supposed to be doing, and he would be getting in trouble. And these shoes are providing him an avenue where he can play a sport and he can receive a father figure from a coach and learn so many character building things through sports that he wouldn't be able to if he didn't have cleats to play, which was so eye-opening to me, because you don't think about so many of the little things that come with just a pair of shoes or a baseball bat or a glove, and it's so much more than just that. And we say that every pair of shoes has a story, which is so true. Like I said, we have story after story. One of my favorites, which Tim will appreciate, we have a semi-new program called the Simon Greiner Running Program. And this program started because a young athlete named Simon Greiner went to Emma Memorial, and he was a runner, a very successful runner. And after his freshman year, he thought, I can do better. If I work a little bit harder, put a little bit more extra effort, I really believe that I can do better. And he did that next season. Well, the boys team looked at Simon and said, well, if he can do it, we can do it. We believe together that we can do it. And so they started going to those early morning practices. They started trying a little bit harder, and suddenly that team won state. Well, the girls looked at the boys and said, okay, if they can do it, we can do it.
Right.
So they started going to those early morning practices. They started putting in the effort. They started working harder. And suddenly, the Emma Memorial Track and Field program was on that next level. And that's simply just because they believed in themselves. And I think that's something that's so important. And when I speak to kids now, one of the first things I tell them is, hey, I believe in you. I believe in you as a young athlete. I believe in you as a young leader, as a young philanthropist. And Simon lost his life when he was in college, but his parents wanted for his legacy to live on. And so that one athlete who just believed in himself and believed that he could do better started this whole program for us. We're now in 3 different OKCPS high schools, kids who run cross country and track and field are getting trainers and spikes, and with the knowledge that, hey, we love you and we believe in you, and we're going to give you shoes because we want you to succeed, which is just awesome.
Can you hear something crazy?
Yeah.
I never knew the whole Simon Greiner thing, but I used to work with a girl that was a part of the Edmond Memorial Track and Field, and she was the pole vault. And she was like, yeah, the guys won, so now we're gonna win.
Yes!
And they had all this new stuff going through it. I never put 2 and 2 together.
It's just
That's
amazing
awesome
to me that just this one kid can say, hey, I really believe in myself, and suddenly people around him think, okay, we can too. Yep, definitely contagious.
That's awesome. To add on to what you were saying, when they came to U.S. Grant this past year, I had a kid who actually ended up qualifying for state at the end of the year. This kid had these pair of shoes that we told him not to buy. He was like, no, I'm going to buy them. I'm going to run in them. He ran in them all summer, ended up getting hurt twice, had to sit out for about 2 weeks, got the new pair of shoes from Cleats for Kids. Allyson was there as well. This kid stayed healthy all year and then was our only individual state qualifier as well. As a sophomore, it was amazing. I mean, the work that you all do is just, it's so heartfelt. I know you guys get to hear so many positive news stories, but just to be a part of a couple of them and see it and then hear that, I'm just like,
it's awesome.
I can sit here and cry now.
Tears of joy.
Tu sabes.
Do you have any more positive?
Like I said, honestly,
So many.
There's so many. And one thing people ask me, Allyson, what's your favorite thing about your job? And I've gotten the chance to work with several different nonprofits, but what I think is so unique about Cleats for Kids is that I could honestly go home every day with a new story of how I saw Cleats for Kids make a difference and make an impact. We do a big Bedlam drive between the University of Oklahoma and Oklahoma State every year. And their students come together and collect new and used sports equipment. And at the end of it, we have what we call our Bedlam Bash, which is a celebratory event to say, look what these two schools can do together, the impact that they can make together for our state. And this year we did it at a Police Athletic League game, a flag football game. And these kids get to participate in sports through the Police Athletic League that provides leagues for 4th, 5th, and 6th graders, and we help provide the gear. So we had these college students come and bring the gear they collected to show, this collective impact, but also to cheer on these kids. So we had a real student section full of these college students cheering for these kids. And I had a kid come up to me after and say, "Are those kids cheering for us?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "I think we played better today because they were here."
That's awesome.
And I said, "You know what? It just sometimes takes, a little bit of these kids knowing that people care about them. They may not know them personally, but there are these organizations and these people who care about them and just want them to succeed."
That's so awesome.
Belief in each other and the community.
Yep, exactly.
Man, tu sabes.
That is awesome what you said, though. Like, every day I get to go home and have a positive story. Like, how many people can say that about anything they do in life?
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
Agreed. So do you guys have any events coming up?
So I was going to talk about just a little bit of our regular events that we have. Starting the first of the year, we'll have some pretty big collection drives through some schools. Our collection drives happen all the time, and that's so we can have inventory. We can have things to give out, and there are certain items that just fly off our shelves. So we need those collection drives. In the spring, we have a patio party that we have a Young Professionals Board that hosts that at the Jones Assembly after the Memorial Marathon.
Awesome.
And then in June, we have our annual summer kickoff event at Wheeler Park, which is hosted by our varsity board. That's another thing that our high school students get to come together, different schools, and make an impact and plan an event together. And then every September, we have our annual luncheon at the Skirvin.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
This isn't on the question thing. Is there a place like anyone that's listening can reach you at to volunteer? And
Absolutely.
donate?
So we have volunteers. Volunteers are really how we get stuff done. They come in and inventory, help us with projects. Our website is www.cleatsforkids.org. That's going to have all the information on there. There's an email, info@cleatsforkids.org, that they can ask questions to, say they want to volunteer, and we will get them plugged in as soon as we get that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There's always a place to serve.
And I'll put that in the description.
Perfect.
Take that, world. So, I now believe it is time for my favorite question of the day.
Yeah.
What is your favorite quote?
So I'm going to speak first for Executive Director Stacy. Her favorite quote is, "Be the change you wish to see in the world," which is something that we truly believe at Cleats for Kids and strive to do. But my personal favorite quote is something I heard every day growing up, which is, "Put a smile on your face, love in your heart, and pass it on." And I think that's really what I get to do with my job. I get to wake up with a smile on my face and come here and see these kids who honestly just need a little extra help and a little extra love, and provide them with what they need and hope that they spread that to the other kids and other people they come in contact with.
You're so amazing.
Thank you.
Another thing you said earlier, you said every shoe has a story.
Yes.
That's great.
Yep.
I was going to say, like,
Put it on a shirt.
Yes, put that on a t-shirt. That was just like, every shoe does have a story.
It's just so true. Every kid that comes in here has a different reason they need it, or a different sport they play, and giving that gear to them, you just never know the difference that it's going to make on their life.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. This was an amazing interview, by the way.
Thank you.
I think this is one of my favorite ones. I'm not going to lie.
Well,
We're
Tim,
doing
you
a
have
lot of
a
amazing
personal
stuff.
connection with the kids you get to see.
Absolutely. That's why I think I love this so much, because I believe that every pair of shoes has a story.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, we appreciate you for coming
Yes,
on.
thank you for having me. I appreciate this. This is fun.
Hopefully we can get some of your varsity and junior varsity board on here. They can talk about their story.
Absolutely. They would love it.
Anyway, we appreciate everyone for listening. We're out.
Stay positive.